you're doing well. Okay, figures. Eric, yo, oh, hey, what's going on, Eric? How are you, man? Appreciate you guys stopping by. Yo, Cody, what's going on, Cody? How are you, sir? So as you can see, we are doing some Marvel Legends action tonight. Not something I said I was going to continue to collect as far as the MCU figures are concerned, but yet here we are. So we will be unboxing all the figures you do see in front of you tonight. In addition, to do some comparisons along the way, and of course, touching base with everybody here and kind of seeing what you've been up to and how your collecting week is going, and just generally how everybody's been doing recently. So very nice to see everybody here. Midwest Toy Box, what's going on, sir? How are you? Thanks for stopping by live at 7:05, as always. Great to see you here. So everybody, again, I don't know how you feel. Let me know it in the chat. I've been saying for months that I was done with the MCU figures. I've been saying I'm done with it. I've been saying that I'm not going to collect them anymore. I considered selling off my collection to a certain point. I held on to them. I didn't want to completely binge them, being that I really enjoyed collecting them during the Infinity War saga. And here we are, and I said I was out, and I got 4 more. So that's just how it freaking goes, right? Yo, Bill, what's going on, man? How are you? William Harris, sir. Good to see you, buddy. Great to see you got that Major Blood from Legends and Pops. Very cool. He was able to hook you up. I'm glad you got that, sir. Okay, Figure says, I still got to pick up that Bucky cap. I feel like it's a museum piece. Yeah, man. I'm assuming you're referring to this guy right here. I love this figure. He was one of my earlier Captain Americas that I picked up. I got him loose. Loved the storyline with Bucky as Captain America, which I'm sure we will talk about tonight as we go on with the video and with the live stream. I'm sure that'll come up as we speak about it. So, yeah, definitely agree with your assessment on that figure for sure. Hey, Cody. Cody says, can't wait for these. He has all the Falcon and Winter Soldier figs pre-ordered except for Bucky. Hopefully they do come in pretty soon. What's up there? Kuko-san, how's it going on, man? Says he loves this wave. Yeah, I love the G.I. Joe Cobra logo there, sir. Very well done. We'll talk more about the wave. It's very divisive for me. I am not a fan of them not having an actual Build-A-Figure in here. Didn't like that at all. If you watch my recent hunt video over at Disavowed ActionFigures here on the YouTube channel, you know I'm not a fan of that, so I was not happy with it. Michael says he is done with the Joes. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Yes, Bill, glad to hear Greg was able to hook you up. That's awesome, man. And again, that's what it's about, helping people out if you can. Okay Figure says MCU figures are cool. I just prefer to go straight to the comic book source. Yeah, I'm a much bigger fan of the comic book figures as well. However, I have to say I do really enjoy my MCU that I had, obviously from the first set of movies from basically Infinity War and Endgame, working backward. So again, I've been on the fence to get rid of those. Paladon Dread said, I got the whole wave of Target the other day. Very cool, man. I got mine at Walmart, actually. So I found these at Walmart. Full box, full case. I did pass. I'm just not that interested in the other figures. Wanda looked great. Personally, I just don't need a Scarlet Witch in my collection right now. I just don't. Not a big fan of the character in the movie to begin with. Didn't really enjoy the character in the show. I liked the show. I like Paul Bettany also in the show as the Vision, but I don't need the white suited Vision. I don't need her on my shelf. And honestly, real estate's a premium when it comes to collecting, and I don't need that extra space taken up by them on my shelf at this point in time. And the Loki is just, he's cool. And maybe when I see the show, I'll want to pick him up. But, I really wanted to pick up the U.S. Agent and the Zemo here because they are original figures. Their first effort by Hasbro to create those figures here in the MCU line. I loved Civil War, and I love all the Captain America films the most. I love espionage as a genre. I have most of the Bucky Barnes figures that are not Marvel Legends. I have all the selects and his comic book variations. This is my first Bucky Barnes MCU figure. And as you can see, I do have just a handful of other Captain Americas going on as well. So needed to pick those up too. Hey, Andre, what's going on, man? West Coast correspondents in the house. Hope to find the rest of the Disney Plus wave soon. Really, Scarlet Witch. Yeah, it's a great looking figure. I just personally didn't need it, but I can totally see why people like it. Still got to find the Bucky to complete this wave. A lot of people have suggested 4 feathers. There's a good chance that he will be one of the peg warmers. Being that the head sculpt's not that great with the photoreal tech. I just needed him because I'm a big Bucky fan. And again, I didn't have an MCU figure because I had this guy right here. So I just didn't feel the need to pick up another one since I had him in the collection already. Cody said, I didn't watch WandaVision and I don't know if I want to get Loki, but I hope to get the wings just because so they look so possible. Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's one of those things where I think they should have put a Build-A-Figure in here. I don't know what Build-A-Figure. I think they probably could have mined a character from Loki and put it in here instead. I get why they did the wings, which brings me to my question to you. Do you think we're getting a wave 2 of this line, of this wave? I do. I think we'll definitely get a wave 2 from these core shows. Yes, we'll get more figures down the road regarding these figures from other shows, obviously. However, personally, my thoughts are that we're going to get another wave from these shows because we need an Agatha Harkness. They could definitely give us a Sharon Carter. They could definitely give us a Carly figure from from Falcon Winter Soldier. Loki, we haven't even touched the surface yet scratched the surface yet regarding what's going to happen in that show. All we've seen is Loki. So we can get an Owen Wilson figure from that wave. We can obviously get any other version of Loki because apparently there's like a whole barrage of Loki variations in that show. So I'm willing to bet there's a good possibility we are going to get that. Hey, Greg, what's up? Yeah, Greg, I did say that obviously, and I did reserve the right to jump back in. And, here's my argument. These are original figures, with the exception of Bucky, who I don't have. I don't have a Marvel Legends MCU Bucky. And he's my favorite comic book character, like top 3, probably. I wanted to pick this guy up here, Greg, because as I thought about it, we are building toward the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts, more likely. I know, Greg, you said you were not very aware of what those were. So hopefully you read up on those to kind of know who the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers are, because he's going to be a cornerstone of that. And I figured, you know what, I'm probably going to want to build the team just because I do enjoy the comic books. So even though it's the MCU, I figured, first effort with this figure and this character and a good possibility. Also looking forward to seeing some people online post pictures of him and Ego together from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell, the dad and the son combination there. And even Sam Wilson, he was the one I really struggled with the most, was Sam Wilson. I love the deco, and it's right out of the comic book, don't get me wrong, but I really like this figure. I have the Walmart exclusive here. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you have this guy? The guns didn't come with them, obviously. Those are the guns from Anti-Venom. I talked about that in previous live streams. But I was good with him. He's my Falcon right now. But I figured, you know what? If I'm buying Zemo, who I needed, because I just love that character from the movie and then obviously the show. And if I was getting Bucky and I was getting US Agent, it didn't make sense to not get all 4 from this particular show. So that was kind of the way I guilted myself into this and picking them all up. So a Paladin says, need an Agatha. Totally agree. That's why I think we're getting a wave 2. I hope they come, said Greg. Four Feathers said, I agree with you, Andre. Let's see what did Andre say. Could have easily just made the Falcon the BAF for this wave. Yeah, I agree, Andre. They really could have done that for us. And needless to say, they didn't, and I've been very outspoken in my hunt videos as of late. I don't like when they do this whole build a wing, build accessory idea. I don't like when they did the Hobgoblin, I believe it was. Give us a big beefy figure. You can't really see him in frame too well right now, like Mr. Hyde back there. Give us something like that, or call Obsidian, from the MCU wave earlier on. From those MCU waves. So again, that's what I've been looking for. So guys, I'll tell you what, let's not go too far into this and open some figures. Let's start cracking them open. Obviously, you do some figures out here that I laid out for comparison purposes that I did want to make sure we compared as we work our way through. Cody said, I can't wait for the US Agent figure, even though it's not accurate. I don't really care. They did an amazing job on him with the show. Yeah, I think they did a good job with this character. They made you hate him, and then they redeemed him in the end. And I think that they made him a sympathetic figure in a lot of ways on the show. I do understand if Falcon is the new Cap, which is a big role to fill. Can they really not give us unmasked Anthony Mackie? Yeah, it's a good point too, man. They really should have given us an unmasked head. I wouldn't even thought of mentioning that. So good call. They kind of dropped the ball there. Hey, OK Figure says, should have a Julia Louis-Dreyfus figure. Dude, if they would have made Julia Louis-Dreyfus Val, which is, by the way, one of my favorite female comic book characters of all time, totally would have picked it up. Yo, the best name on YouTube and Instagram. Moms that pop you out. What's going on, man? Good to see you here, sir. So again, we will have these figures off to the side to do some comparisons along the way. As I always say, everybody, I do not claim to be a quote unquote reviewer. Okay. I'm looking at stuff that I like. And I'm looking at figures I enjoyed purchasing. So therefore I don't consider me as an overly reliable source when it comes to reviewing these things. I was just watching Eric Rivera earlier on, obviously MCU collector. I mentioned Toy Bro in the past. Toy Migos has done some reviews in the past. There's so many guys out there. Just Jay Hernandez obviously kills it when he does his reviews periodically. So again, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, go off of what I'm saying regarding review. To me, this is just us talking about toys that we like. So there's the write-up on Bucky. Again, I really think they did a great job flushing out kind of his post-traumatic stress disorder and syndrome with this figure. Again, we do get the actors obviously on the box as well, which is very cool. I know with the Fox figures, we didn't really get the actors on the sides for a lot of reasons, but we do obviously get the MCU characters there. Forgot to get out my little cutting tool here, so don't mind if I go into the good old toy desk to pull that out. Yo, Valley, what's going on, man? How are you, sir? Thanks for stopping by Lab 705. Always good to see you here. I appreciate your support as always, man. So let's get Bucky cracked open here. I'm going to do it kind of slightly off camera because there's so much going on my desk. I don't want to take a chance on dumping it and knocking anything over. I'm not a fan of doing the domino effect, but if you've watched my live streams in the past, guys, you know it's going to happen eventually, right? All right, so there he is coming out of the box. We'll keep that box. I do like keeping the boxes. There's a good look at the wing that goes along with the Falcon. Like I said, not all in on building this. Don't need those. There's the very controversial head sculpt that people said from a lot of different angles. Looks good or looks bad. We get the two hands. We get the two fisted hands. We get the gun holding hand, even though it doesn't come with any accessories. I know a lot of people said they're kind of bummed. We do get the logo in the background of the shield, which is kind of cool. So I do kind of dig that. So let's get the good old plastic whiff out of the way, and let's bust them out. So I'm not going to get into taking hands out, guys. I'm looking more at the figure for tonight for those purposes. And again, I know that some people have not been happy with the head sculpt. We get good pivot, though, on it. And I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. And again, I'm going to try to involve you guys in the chat as best I can while I'm working my way through. One cool thing with this is it's completely pinless. The legs are pinless. The arms are pinless. This arm to me is definitely, the price of admission right there. That's the big thing. How that arm came out. The texturing is pretty cool. I think the paint was done well in this as well. Head sculpt, take it or leave it. I think the short hair throws a lot of people off, but that arm is really well done. That is a much, 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 much better arm than what we saw on the Infinity War 2-pack that he was in. So again, you can see the line work is very well done on the arm. The paint is fantastic with the gold and the black. So again, they definitely did an awesome job with the arm, which if you're collecting a figure and you're doing a Winter Soldier figure, you're getting them because of the arm, right? It's the metal arm that we all dig so much. So again, the head sculpt is what it is at this point, unfortunately. So I'll tell you what, let's get him on the rotating base. Let's see if he'll stand, first of all. I actually feel like he will stand relatively well, which I cannot always say for my Marvel Legends. So let's get him up there. Let's check out some of the comments here and see what people are up to, what people are suggesting. Valley said, just picked up the Thing. Dude, very cool. Kind of. I'm really trying to restrict my purchasing recently to just things I want, which is why I quit MCU Legends, right, Greg? Because I bought more. So I'm really being picky with NECA stuff. I think they have some awesome licenses. I just don't know if I'm going to get that. I passed on the Roddy Piper version from They Live, which I know is a different scale. But if I didn't get him, I probably won't get the Thing. Andre said he's been able to track down 5 major Blood G.I. Joe figures in retail. It really seems like they're starting to put out more. I have heard from most people it is popping up. Greg, yeah, I agree, man. Definitely. Absolutely. A 6-pack would say absolutely. Arm sculpt is fantastic. Greg, I can't wait to see what Just Jay Hernandez does with these figures over on his show. I know you're buddies with him. 6 packs and knickknacks, friend of the channel in the house. What goes on here? 705 live. He's on I-81. He was out doing a toy hunt, guys. He was out of work today. What's going on, 6 packs? Cody says, I still haven't seen any major bloods personally. Dude, they said the release date was this weekend. So keep your eyes open, because Sunday was the day that stores who were holding them out said they're putting them out. Let's see here. Andre says, just jump by. So, guys, comments, when they come in quick, I kind of miss them. Andre said, I don't understand why the Winter Soldier doesn't come. Yeah, I agree, Andre, man. They really should have put him, given him some weapons. I don't know why they did not. I'm guessing, again, it just comes down to the whole economics of a wave. So, everybody, this was, as up till now, the Bucky I had. This is the FH Figuarts version from Infinity War. And it's my first FH Figuarts that I have. Shout out to my GF for picking this up for me as a birthday gift a couple of years ago. The arm on this, is okay. The articulation on these figures, if you have any SH Figuarts, is a lot better than most Legends. You have the butterfly joint, and it's just a lot smoother, obviously differently based. But the thing with this stinks about it is the head. I've never been a big fan with the head sculpt, the way they kind of do with the face plates on these. That's why I haven't been a fan. You don't get a lot of rotation on the head because of the fact it could pop off. So I've never been a huge fan. And also the head sculpt on this, people have said, in the past, they weren't very happy with. I do like the figure. I do intend to keep it. And again, it was a gift, so obviously that helps. But let's really quickly get them both up here on the stand together, see if he stays put. I think he might. So there's a variation of Bucky Barnes. Oh, I thought he was going to fall and kind of lean back. Okay, there we go. That's from the Infinity War. Again, FH Figuarts. So that's a Figuarts figure. Back to back with, again, obviously the haircut version of White Wolf of the Figuarts. Hey, Fog Wonder, he says the head sculpt is average. Yeah, it's not great, man. But again, I like the fact that it is more articulated than the one I have there on the stand with him. Nurk IRL says mine's coming in 4 days. Very cool. Greg says he agrees that the Major Bloods are popping up more often. Nurk says he wants a Falcon. Best Winter Soldier so far. Yeah, Valley. That's why I've held off, because the Marvel Legends versions of this figure haven't been really, really great. The early on one from the Winter Soldier film, I thought was very lackluster. I didn't pick it up. I also felt as if the 1 and the 2-pack wasn't great, and the Walmart exclusive wasn't very good. So I held off as long as I could, and I honestly think out of all of them, this might be the best one. So that is why I finally jumped in on it. Artsy Design says, wish I could find one Major Blood to Andre. Billy says he likes the idea of picking up the thing. Greg said he found plenty in his area. Willis said that he saw Cobra Commander today. Yeah, man, he's definitely the guy hanging out a lot. Fog Wander says blood is a nightmare to find in the Philly area, but Greg said he found a lot more of them. Cody says he got to go. Hey, take care, Cody. Thanks for stopping by, man. Hey, Jay Gurko, what's going on, man? Jay Gurk, the collector in the house. What's up, Maddie? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Figure says Cobra Commander is hanging tough everywhere. Yeah, man. Him and Roadblock, I see the most. Will said he saw it at Easton. Roundhead K2000, what's up, cuz? Nice haul. Thanks, man. I appreciate you stopping by, man. You know that. PA Coalition, right? Nurk IRL says U.S. agent all day. So, yeah, man, I'm digging the figure. Again, I struggled on it. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in the long run. I did decide to eventually pick it up, obviously. So, I'm happy with it. Could they have given him accessories? Yes. Could they have done something else better with him? They can always do something better with these figures. But ultimately, I'm happy with what they did with him. I'm glad I picked them up. I'm not going to go crazy with MCU until I do, right? But ultimately, I'm content, and I think to look at a lot of other figures. And actually, you know what? Before I even get U.S. Agent going here, what I wanted to do really quick was just put him up on the base. And again, we'll see if we get any domino effect going on here. This is, as we said earlier, the Bucky Captain America comic book version that we have on the base. So he, again, was Captain America in the comics, if you were unaware. He originally took over for Steve when he died in the comic books. And this was the version of him we got wearing kind of the black tactical outfit. I believe it was actually an adamantium outfit, which I really thought they might name drop, or at least say that Sam's outfit was vibranium, which they never really hinted at too much. But at least wanted to see those guys on the stand together. for obvious reasons. And again, I'll be doing a lot of Captain America comparisons because this is the Captain America show, right? So there is those three. So we do have the worthy Captain America, which most people would probably agree is the best Captain America Marvel Legend we've received. So very excited to kind of see them rotating their way around. No, I did not pick up the Scarlet Witch. I held tough and decided that I did not want to get the Loki or the Scarlet Witch. And I also, as I said, I'm staying away from the Vision as well, just because of the fact I just don't think I need them. And as I mentioned, I do think we are going to get multiple waves from these shows. And I think there's a very good possibility that we are probably going to end up getting our hands on other variations of Wanda and Scarlet, Wanda and Vision. And personally, I think I would like to maybe get like the 50s version, something that's outside the box, if I get anything. Speaking of outside the box, guys, let's get U.S. Agent out of the box. Take a look at him. I know he's a very divisive character on the show for lots of reasons. I think they did a good job trying to make him as sympathetic a figure as they could, the way they went with it. Again, you know I love the box art. So real quick here, let's get a revolution here on the stand of him in the box. Hopefully not knocking Bucky over. The box art in these they're good. I mean, here we get the actors, not so much an artistic rendering as we do the comic figures, but I do like it for sure. Scarlet Witch is the best one in this wave. I like this wave. Yeah, Greg, I can see why people think that. Greg, and also Nurk, I know you're saying you do like Scarlet Witch. Is she double jointed elbows? I'm not sure. Obviously, I haven't watched many reviews because I didn't pick her up. I have a real issue getting these female figures. They don't have double jointed elbows. So if she has single jointed elbows, I think that knocks her back a few pegs. I wouldn't say she's figure of the year if she has single jointed elbows. I think that is something that can knock a female figure back pretty far as you go. Jay Gertz says building wings is like building Jubilee, and Jubilee's worth more. Costume and wings are vibranium in the show. Yeah, I didn't know if they said the costume was okay figures. I think it was implied. So thanks for letting me know. I didn't realize they confirmed that the costume was vibranium, other than the wings. I knew the wings were, but I didn't know if they confirmed that the actual threads of the outfit were. That makes sense because, again, Bucky in the comic books did have an adamantium, which makes sense because he's a little bit more, less invulnerable or more vulnerable, you could say. So here he is out of the packaging. I'm pretty excited about this figure. Yes, I know we've said he's not show accurate. Yes, I know they did not do the torso, the correct colors. It's supposed to alternate between white and red. But again, remember, they are working from early designs with these. So, and they did say that the Walmart exclusive version of this guy. Oh yeah, I just did think of that. They did say the Walmart exclusive version is literally this but blue. So it is completely opposite. There's more weight to this than I thought there'd be, which is kind of cool. So there's our head sculpt, and looks much better than the guy from Up, if I could say so myself. But again, I'm digging this, and I think something I didn't mention yet. I do love patriotic figures. I'm a big holiday fan. I love holidays. So I do an entire display of my figures for every major holiday. So the fact that I can set up all my figures in my living room around my entertainment system for the 4th of July, and actually the whole summer really with patriotic figures also kind of helped me to come to the point where I did want to pick up the entire wave of these figures as well. So there he is there. Greg says only single jointed elbows. Yeah, see, to me, Greg, that knocks it back a couple notches. We know when people say about it being a top figure for the year, the sculpt is great on the figure. Don't get me wrong, but I really do feel as if, if you're talking figure of the year, like for instance, Lady J, G.I. Joe Classified, having those double elbows, to me, that does a great deal for pushing her up the list for top 10 figures of the year. So let's do a quick comparison. No, this is not a U.S. Agent. This is the Secret War version, which is actually written by, it's not Jonathan Hickman. Come on, let's think about it, Disavowed. This was Secret War, which was written by Brian Michael Bendis, one of my favorite all-time comic book storylines, and Nick Fury in it, obviously, where all the characters basically invaded Latveria. I suggest checking out Secret War. by Bendis. It's a great, the art in it's freaking amazing. I had a chance to buy a page years ago and I passed up on it. Now it's like triple what it was worth. But to me, this looked very much like a U.S. agent. So I don't have U.S. agent in my collection, comic book or movie otherwise. So I thought he looked cool with that variation of Steve being there, obviously. Okay, Figures says, I'm assuming the suit was in the suitcase. Yeah, I think that's a good assumption. Okay, Figures, I would agree with that. Greg Miller says, my friend Rob Eulis painted as a U.S. agent to make it look accurate. Yeah, I've seen some people online doing that. I'm obviously not a customizer. I'm not nearly enough talented to do that, but I have heard some collectors doing that as well. So I do like this figure. Again, pinless tech. One thing I didn't know, and I don't know if you'll be able to notice it or not, we do actually get a U.S. flag on each shoulder, but it's very muted. It's very gray. So I thought that came out really cool, all things considered. And again, the back of the figure is solid. You know, the texturing is well done. I do know some reviewers have said that the legs seem a little bit big on this character, and I totally understand why they would think that. They kind of are. I like that they have so much tilt in the head with this. You know, he kind of was kind of crazy on the show at times. So I like the fact that you do kind of have some work there you can do with his head, which is pretty cool. Okay, Figures says invading lot very equal Death Wish. You'd be surprised, okay, Figures. Pick up that book, man. They wrecked the place. At the time, Dr. Doom wasn't in charge. I don't want to ruin anything regarding the storyline beyond that. Cheers, by the way. But it's just very well done. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance video game Part 2 is based upon that storyline, actually. Greg Miller says Lady J, pinless tech, Scarlet Witch, single jointed elbows. Yeah, man, just further example of how, you know, Hasbro, because G.I. Joe is a young line, does allow for them to do a lot more with those figures as opposed to, you know, what the Legends team is really allowed to do. So they're as a side-by-side of U.S. Agent and Bucky. And again, you can kind of see here that they, there's definitely a size difference here. I'm just going to pull this a little bit closer to us. There we go. There's definitely a size difference here between these figures. Bucky definitely is smaller when it comes to size. I suppose that he is. I mean, I know some people have said he should be a bigger figure than he is, you know, regarding how he was in the show. But again, I think US Agent's a good effort. And again, I'd pick him up, guys. If you have any hesitance, and yes, I'm campaigning for MCU figures, I would consider picking him up because he is going to be potentially the leader of the Dark Avengers or probably the Thunderbolts in the MCU. So when you eventually team build him and that team, you're going to probably want him on your shelf with the other figures. Mamas and Papi said they also have more budget with G.I. Joe because they don't pay licensing. You're right. And you know, Bobby Val has been very outspoken on the Infinity Equation that they could be doing more with G.I. Joe because they're not paying a licensing fee. But you're definitely right, Mom said pop you out. And also they don't do Build-A-Figures. So you're not doing a Build-A-Figure, which means you're not paying for Build-A-Figure pieces, which means you could do more pack-ins than, you know, what's actually being done. So you got to factor all that in. I think a lot of people tend to forget or not understand the fact how the economics do work with these figures. And again, I'm going to keep throwing Steve Rogers, our final version, our current final version. I guess they're reissuing him in a different color now too, on there on the stand with these figures. So we get a good look at them. Let's see what else here. Damien, what's up? Damien says, a few MCU Marvel Legends I'd like to include Batroc, Baron Strucker, and a Quentin Beck. That would be cool. Quentin Beck would be awesome. Suited figure. Any MCU baddies I would like. Oof, man. I did want an Obadiah Stane, which they've corrected recently, Damien. So I was pretty excited to see that they did bring him in. I'd like an Aldrich Killian. I think I'd like a Killian from Iron Man 3. You know, he was the main antagonist in that film. So I'd like to see him, I believe. So I think those are two examples. One we were getting and one we're not. Nurk IRL says, way more presence than Lady J on the shelf. And he has every Joe. So there those are, guys. So let's continue moving along here. I'm just going to try to keep putting our newer figures on the side so that at the end I can do an obvious comparison of all four in frame. So let's go to Zemo next. This is the figure I said originally I would definitely 100% pick up in this wave. I did say I was out of MCU, but I said I'd get him no matter what. And again, I know he's not really too much in screen. Here we go. Just trying to make the camera work here, guys. So I was very excited to get this as a figure. I thought we should have got him originally when Civil War first came out. I love that they gave us the alternate head. I heard the head's not perfectly sized to the body, but I thought he was awesome on the show. He was the Hannibal Lecter of this show in a lot of ways. I do have one of the more rare Marvel Legends, I do believe. I don't think every collector has one of these. I could be wrong, but I know this used to catch a pretty penny on eBay. And this is the Baron Zemo comic book version. Love this figure. Up until this release, I think this is the closest thing we had. He sits on my Army Builder shelf with all of my AIM figures. I used to watch Earth's Mightiest Heroes when it was on Disney XD, and he had a pretty heavy feel to that show. He was on there a lot. He had a definitely heavy presence. So there's our Zemo write-up, everybody. Baron Zemo, the Slovakian Special Forces officer who targeted the Avengers, has been rotting in a German prison, but recent events will reignite him with ferocity. So nice art on the back. And I really haven't shown this other than from a distance, but if you were curious, if you didn't know already, that's what it takes to build the wings. And as I said, I'm really not too excited about that, but what are you going to do? They did it. So, all right, let me get this cut open off camera because I said I don't want to try fitting it on screen and knocking some other figures over, having the whole domino effect kick in tonight, not dealing with that, trying to avoid it. So let's get him out of the box. There he is. Oh yeah. All right, little Peggy Hill action. Accessories much better with this figure, obviously. We get the red book, which right now I can't show you, but I do have a notebook to the left of me that always sits on my comic book table back here, my toy table, that is this. Again, shout out to the GF for that. We get the gold gun, which is pretty cool, very reminiscent of the Baroness gun for G.I. Joe. We get two fists and two hands. We get a pointing finger there with a trigger hand here, a trigger finger, and we get an alternate head sculpt, obviously. And they nailed it with this head sculpt. That is Daniel Bruhl. I mean, we talked about the inability to make the head sculpt look accurate on the Bucky Barnes. I got to tell you, I think they did a fantastic job with the head sculpt on that. That just is freaking perfect, man. I mean, you can't do much better than that in my estimation. So let me get him out, and then I will check on some of the comments. Again, guys, I'm juggling a lot of balls here, so I don't want anybody to think I'm ignoring them. And also, I'm going to get the accessories out for this guy here as well, considering they did kind of go the extra mile with this figure, unlike what they did with the others. So let's get those accessories out of there. All right. So here he is on camera, guys. So while I'm showing him off, let's check some comments really quickly here. Let's see here what we got going on in the comments. Omega says, I have that Zemo still on the card. Cool, man. And again, I think that he's a harder one to find. And if you're going to pick him up, it's a little bit more expensive. Zemo's fantastic. Dark Elves would be cool, Damien. I do think Dark Elves would be very cool to get in hand. That'd be pretty interesting. Should we make him do the Zemo dance, guys? Doing a Zemo dance here at the party. Zemo party! All right, there he goes. I actually might have to do some type of disco type of video with him dancing. OK Figures says, friggin' love Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Dude, OK Figures, Earth's Mightiest Heroes was awesome. Their Secret Invasion arc was freaking outstanding. Excuse me. 1 second, please. Yeah, that cartoon was freaking awesome. Biggest mistake they made was canceling that cartoon. It was just freaking stupid that they did it. Yo, Graphite Dust, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we were supposed to get a massive thunderstorm. I actually considered canceling Live at 7:05 tonight for fear of power going out, and we got a little bit of rain, and that was it. It pretty much moved right along quickly, so I was pretty surprised we didn't get pounded too bad here with a storm. Okay, so this might be the guy that falls. I don't think the feet on this are great. This is kind of that suited body. I believe this is like the traditional suited body we get that never stands well. So I don't know if he'll stand on the base. We'll give it a shot. Okay, not too bad. He's staying up there. So I'll take that for sure. Damien said, have you picked up the Bring on the Bad Guys wave? I picked up the Dr. Doom, God Doom. I did pick him up. I don't know who else I'm picking up in that wave, Damien. I'm still on the fence. Greg, yes, as I said earlier. Looks like him too, Ed. Definitely Ed. I definitely agree. It looks a lot like him. Did a great version on Zemo. Yeah, Andre, they really did. Zemo Dance Hour that's right, 1 hour version, Damien. Get them going. Artsy designs. Never heard of Robot Kingdom. Trench coat figures are always fun and to get. I agree, Andre. Definitely always are. Valley said nailed the likeness, but Dan Buell after Inglorious Bastards, I can't stand his face. I was thinking the same thing, man. I was thinking the same thing with that in relation to Inglorious Bastards. So we do get more of the pinless tech, guys. We do have pins in the legs because they did reuse the legs from the suited figures. I think this is the same as Stan Lee and maybe Tony Stark. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. We do get the purple shirt underneath, as you can see right here, which is pretty well done. And we do get the trigger hand. Again, I am spoiled that we do not get the storage on this guy. I do like when we get storage on these figures. You guys know I'm a big fan of storage. That's what I love about the classified line. The hand does sit pretty well in the gun. Yeah, the gun sits well in the hand. Sorry about that. We get the pointing finger. The book is pretty well done as well. There it goes. Almost a domino effect. The book was well done. It doesn't open or anything. That would have been cool if it did open. Unfortunately, it does not. But again, they did a nice job with this guy. For the sake of comparisons, I will have this guy on my shelf with the Daniel Bruhl head sculpt because it is so well done. But in the interest of science, as I drop the head on the floor, let's see what it looks like with this head sculpt on here. And again, I thought it was pretty cool how they did incorporate this in to having him come out. So there's the head sculpt with the mask. I like it. It's cool. It's not perfect. I do prefer the other head sculpt. The eyes look pretty cool in there. You can get a good look at those. They didn't shy away from showing them. But ultimately, I think they did do a nice job with this guy. And again, I will be having him with the head sculpt of the actor on my shelf. Let me know, guys, in the comments or in the chat, how will you have him on your shelf if you pick him up? Will you put him with the head sculpt of the actor or with the purple mask? Again, I'm liking the variation with the actual actor's face on it. Looking better, I think, in my estimation. Oh, let's see what's going on here. OK Figures says, check out Disavowed's God Doom Quick Look. Thank you, OK Figures. Yeah, guys, if you're curious about Dr. Doom, I do some quick looks, real quick reviews in the box. Check that out. So thank you, OK Figures, for that plug. William says he love-hate relationship with trench coats. Definitely depends on how they're used. Makes the posing more difficult. I agree. Ed says, what's the best Captain America figure that's out for a decent price? That's your traditional Captain America with the correct colors been looking. That's a tough one, man. If you're going to get one, I suggest picking up this guy here. If you're talking about MCU figures, if you can get him for a decent price, which I think you might be able to, because I do think he is popping up on other pages other than Walmart. I think they did make him no longer an exclusive. So I'd look into picking him up for sure. He's my personal favorite. If you're looking for an MCU version, a comic book version of Captain America, I always like the werewolf version of him. I think it came in the Ant-Man, the Giant Man pack, or Red Onslaught, maybe. I think it was Red Onslaught. I did dig him in that. So I would check that out for a possible Captain America figure. Let's see here. Damien says mask is cooler. Greg says Fantastic Four comes to the MCU. Can't wait for that, dude. It's going to be freaking awesome. Yeah, well, Greg, I think I did say that much. I think my original comment was I'm out on MCU until X-Men and Fantastic Four. I'm almost positive I did say that because I'm a huge FF and X-Men fan. So we'll definitely consider that. Nurk says the 80th anniversary Legends release. Yeah, that was well done. I think that was the Alex Ross version where it was kind of meant to look like the Alex Ross painted versions from his Marvel run. So let's move these guys out of the way and let's get to Captain America, which I do think is a figure that the majority of the people are looking forward to the most. So let's get him on the stand because we are coming up to the 40-minute mark, and I don't want to be on too long, even though there's no AEW tonight. So there is the box on the rotating base. So we have Captain America Sam Wilson, obviously, up there delineating that it is that version of Captain America. Was I holding out a little bit of hope that Bucky would become Captain America? Yes, I was, because I do think he was a great Captain America in the show, in the comics. But I'm very excited to see Sam Wilson with the mantle as well. So I can understand that. Hey, Simone, what's going on, man? What's up? What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by live at 7:05. Appreciate you being here for sure. So let's get this guy out of the packaging. Before we do, there's our description on the back. Donning a brand new suit and wings from Wakanda, Sam Wilson proudly takes on the mantle, ready to unite people as the world's new Captain America. I did feel his speech was a little bit cringy. I know what they were going for with it, and I appreciate it and everything, but I felt like it was a little bit too on the nose. Like, kind of feel like that was where some reality on the show was broken. Suspension of disbelief. He is flying around with wings and superheroes and blah blah blah. So I get suspension of disbelief. So I get it. But all right, there he is out of the packaging. There's our head sculpt with the goggles. Paint job looks pretty well done. I've been told to be careful with the shoulders. We don't get too much paint rub. Work on those shoulders. Shin guards and the rest of the suit look pretty great. We obviously get the typical shield and then the backpack piece, which I believe is meant to be used when the wings are not on him. So let's see. Okay, Figure says, did I read the John Byrne FF run? I don't think I do not believe I read that particular run. I think I read parts of it, but not the entire run. That was during the 90s, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, okay, Figures. I wasn't a huge FF fan in the 90s. I was hardcore X-Men at that point in time. So other than the crossovers like Onslaught and other books that would come about that would require me to read them, they did a great job with the neck pivot on these, man. Jeez. I really like how you get a lot of play on all these figures. And again, we do have the pinless in the arms. Looks like we have pinless in the legs as well. Texturing was very well done on this figure. And again, we do have the backpack piece and also where the wings are going to pop in. We do get the Captain America silver looking logo on the arm. Gauntlets are pretty well done. So overall, again, they did a nice job with it. I never doubted that they'd be good figures. I just kind of doubted that I wanted to buy them or not. That's where I was up in the air with it. All right, let's get the backpack out of here. Try to get my boxes in order. So this will pop right in the back, which I believe is meant to look like his wings are just basically not exposed at the time. So you can see how that fits there. And okay, this is cool. We do get the shield that has the straps. For some reason, I expected the shield that has that freaking awful clip on it, which needless to say, we didn't get. I always forget the MCU figures do not come with that. So let's get this on his arm as best we can. And there is our Sam Wilson. Let's get him up on the stand, get him moving around a little bit. And before we even compare him to the other figures, he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay. Let's get him up there with his best friend, with his buddy. There he is. I think that looks great, those guys being up there together. Again, that just looks cool to me. You know, I really hope that maybe somehow we get Steve Rogers back and they can kind of have a little meetup on the show. Simone says, you think it's possible to get just the wings? Yeah, probably online on eBay, you know, or Macari or something. It's during the early to mid 80s, before Hard Time. You know, okay, Figures, I'll consider checking that out, man. Greg Miller says, anyone excited for the Ursa major wave? The Build-A-Bear wave. Build-A-Bear, man, absolutely. On your left. That's right, dude, on your left. So, again, it came out very well done. I don't need the wings with this guy, as I talked about earlier. So I'm going to have him wingless. Plus, it's a space thing, guys. Like, I think they said it's like 13 inches or something when it comes to the amount of space it takes to get that figure on a shelf. And I know it comes with the base, the flight stand, but again, like I just don't have space for it. There are both MCU versions. This is the version that's the Walmart exclusive. I did not get this in the 2-pack. So again, that's the Walmart exclusive version of him that I do have up there on the base with him floating around. So check that out. So I am digging that. So now that we did that comparison, let's slide this guy out. Again, if you have guns to go along with these, I really like the guns from the Agent Anti-Venom, the 80th anniversary figure. That's where I got that. So I think that looks pretty cool with those. And let's do the obvious back to back here with all 4 figures. This is harder than you would think to do, guys. Trust me. when you're on an angle. It's not easy to do. All right, there we go. So let's get our U.S. agent up there. Let's get our Bucky Barnes up here. See if we can pull this off without having a major friggin' problem. He's going to be the hard one to get to stay because of the feet. Okay, there we go, guys. So there are our 4 figures. Again, from the Disney Plus wave. Really digging how these did come out. Again, I'm a fan. You know, I love the show. And the more I thought about it, they're going to be on the patriotic shelf, which will look great. They're going to be, obviously, all from the same show, which I'm a fan of. So a lot of reasons this kind of made sense when I found all these on my hunt. By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you don't mind, after this posts, I really appreciate you being here live. But if you could, please consider going back and leaving a comment after it posts. That obviously does a lot to help us continue to grow the channel, and it pushes us out to a few more people than it might otherwise, that I may not otherwise go out to. So there we go, everybody. So a couple last comments before we call it a night. Valley said they fold very nicely. That's good to know. Nurk says it takes talent. I would have all of them fallen by now. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely the nerves start shaking a little bit. And trust me, if you watch some of the older Live 705s with just like the strip in the middle, we had some massive blowouts with getting these guys on the stands. Eric says nice figs, but not enough for me to collect MCU. Eric, dude, I totally get it. I thought I was out on these. You know, I barely hung on myself. So totally understand your thoughts on that. Okay, Figures said he's looking for an Ursa Major, also the modular Iron Man, some other figures as well. So, guys, you know, my thoughts for what they're worth. It is a good wave. You know, MCU figures are always typically good. The question wasn't would they be good or not. The question more was, do you want to continue collecting them based on the show? This was my favorite so far of the shows. I'm sure Loki's going to be mind-blowing. And I think we're going to get a whole Loki wave where they might throw in some of these other figures with it. They will do another wave with a better BAF. The BAF might be from Loki. Maybe that's why we didn't get a BAF this time around besides the wings. No, I'm not planning to get the rest of this wave. Will I cave at some point? I'll never rule it out. However, I will not be getting it just to build the wings. If I saw it on clearance down the road, I would kick it around. It is what it is. If you're curious, this is the double packed figure. That's why some people reported to me over YouTube comments. They saw just him because most people grabbed the entire wave and left the extra figure of Captain America on the peg back behind. They didn't need both. Greg just talking about the Ursa Major wave or minor wave, that he is on the fence. I want to build a figure. I don't want any figures in the wave. Valley said, any luck finding more of the supervillains wave? I've not seen them in stores. Last I heard, Eric, they were street dated. I'm sorry, Valley. It was Valley. Last I heard, they were street dated. I know that Seth over at his channel on YouTube, over at MTE, had said that he tried to buy them. They were street dated. No doubt the show was fantastic. Eric, I couldn't agree more. I loved it. Damien said a surprise would be MCU Whiplash, but sadly, Mickey Rourke probably doesn't have that as image. Very, very true. Okay Figure says, hey, that's good. Save some more money. Yep, man. You know, if you can keep some money in your wallet, it's never a terrible idea. Nerk said Morbius and Venom look good. Also, Captain Falcon. Also, now we have got some villains. Yeah, man. The Doctor Doom I didn't open yet. I did the quick look on him, didn't open him. So I'll probably fit him into a future Live 705 to crack open. So I will probably get to that. Unrelated, guys, just that I throw it out there. You guys know I'm an AEW fan. There's no AEW tonight, by the way. It's on Friday Night Live. I did get the Brandy. I didn't do a video on her, and I should have. But I thought they did a great job. Shout out to Jeremy Padower and Jazzware Toys. Also, Six Packs, as I know he's a huge AEW fan like me. Notice this. Check this out, guys. This is a reissue from Wave 1 of this line. Look what they did. Series 1, okay? Volume 2. How great of an idea is that? So it maintains basically the worth if you were somebody who got it on card when it first came out. But in addition to that, they gave other collectors like me an opportunity to get it who didn't get it the first time around. So I think that's really awesome how they're reissuing figures by putting that V on the box. So, guys, other than that, I hope you had a good time tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. I really do. Last comments of the night. Okay, Figure says Marvel Legends panel tomorrow at 11. I forgot. Oh, man. More money. That's my problem. Okay. Take my money, guys. Take my money. Damien says, what's your prediction on HasLab project? I think it's got to be Galactus. I think it's got to be Galactus. If it's not Galactus, a lot of people are going to be upset at this point in time. So, everybody, thank you again so much for checking out the content tonight. I really do appreciate you being here. I'm sorry if I move the camera around a lot. Still kind of getting the habit here of how I want to set things up and just basically making sure that, working with a much different version or app or software that I'm used to using. So everybody take care. Again, if you don't mind, when this ends, please hit the like button on the video and just throw up any kind of comment. Just say thanks, hello, whatever you want to say. Put a comment up there if you don't mind once I'm done. It does just push it out a little bit more. I'm never going to get a lot of views on these going live as far as the after effect. Again, the cool part is being live. But the rewatchability, it will help push it out a little bit to people. So I would appreciate that if you don't mind. And let me know in the comments afterwards. What'd you think of the wave? Who's your favorite figure? Who are you getting? Who are you not getting? And, what figures are you hoping to see it tomorrow on the live stream? Because who knows? They're just going to take all of our money at this point in time, guys. So thank you so much, everybody. Once again, thank you for the kind words. Always appreciate the support, everybody. So take care. Have a great night. Stay safe. Check out my other hunt videos. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.